get to do it at the places where the medicals are doing this. It's not a child's play. And looking at how long he has been in the industry, and he's able to do it there and get that numbers, even if you are dumb, nothing should prick you for you to go on camera, on set and say, this guy doesn't have a hit song. And see, the people that went there were the animals.
Welcome back to the show. This is still Entertainment Guide on DGN TV. My name is Prudent himself. I'm here with my brothers, Long John the blogger, and Yawbudu Ibuafu. Another night, and of course, another session to discuss our industry. Guys, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Very well.
Great. The prodigal son is still here with us. Yep. Yawbudu Ibuafu, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm excited. New position, new role,
Great.
New work. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Congrats to Long John too.
What's his new position?
Oh,
I'm back on the set.
not back on the set.
For me, why no Bible verse?
SM blogger.
Or the chapters at all?
I think now you have settled in and everything is okay now, so we have to move forward. But of course, exactly a week today, the biggest award scheme in the country, Telesol Ghana Music Awards, released the names of artists who have been nominated for the upcoming edition. Of course, we are here to have a proper conversation, analysis with regards to that. Yeah.
Yes.
Earlier in the afternoon of last week, Saturday, we saw it popping up on our social media feed until they had a big event to climax it all. Quickly, are you impressed with, the PR and around it so far so good?
Well, big shout outs to Charterhouse. They've been doing this for 26 years. The announcement, like you said, came on Saturday.
Yep.
If I tell you I was overly impressed with how it was rolled out, then I'm lying. If I want to be honest, because they told us to start from 11 to 4. When it was 11, nothing was out. I think it was like 11:30, getting to 12 before the first ones came. And if you go to the websites, most of them have inaccurate numbers. Yes. That's because they didn't post some of the categories the same day. I think even today, like within the week, them put it within the week. Like within Wednesday, they were still posting like group of the year. So all did not come out at the same time, like they used to do it. So that's why I wasn't overly impressed. I believe even on Daily Guide it was stated. I think Stonebwoy and Kim Promise had the highest nominations at 8.
Yes.
Which was also inaccurate because Kim Promise had 10 nominations, Stonebwoy had 9 alongside Team Eternity.
Okay.
Yes, so those are like the accurate figures. You get it. So I wasn't overly impressed with the rollout. It was unfortunate. Hopefully next year they can do a better job. But all in all, I think it was a good event. I went to the event. It was a good event. I saw Ara and AEC perform, which was like a plus. So it was, in the terms of the organization of that announcement event, was really nice.
Good. Long John, you were not there, but of course, as a blogger, you're monitoring on your social media platforms. What do you make of it?
First of all, we were not there. But then what I saw from everything, I think we, from the social media perspective, what we were waiting for is to see the nominees. So, you time I heard that's what you said. You go there way you want to.
Oh, it's not just.
Come on. How can you make such a statement?
This is on the lighter note. No explain.
Okay.
Oh, no, I just want to say it's not just malt. I saw motor service, I saw
like that.
drinks.
This is it.
Oh, yes. If I tell you we don't like free food and things
everybody like.
Yes, because myself, I don't really eat plenty because I know Sake there. I go do diet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, kudos to Charterhouse once again.
So that be the whole thing. Like the event, what really happened there, I believe he has given a pure narrative and I respect that. But what we want to see, we've seen it. So it's left with our opinions based.
All right, good. Now let's talk about the categories. I think one category that we pushed for to be brought back into the scheme was the group of the year, and it's been included. And how does that make you feel now?
I mean, I'm happy because we've had a lot of conversations this year. You know, we discussed about it. Even motivated some of the groups to come out with letters.
Yeah, Lali X Lola.
Yes, and I think FRA too did something similar. Dope Nation already back in the years have been pushing for it. So yeah, I'm excited we're able to use our platform to kind of discuss the narrative and get it back. So even though we are not a group and we are not nominated, we are excited that the group of the year is back.
Yeah. Long John, any challenges with the group of the year?
I believe we've all championed that conversation. We always felt, regardless of how many times who wins that award, it doesn't mean we should scrap it, because provided there are groups existent in the industry, they deserve to be recognized, because in the end, there are singles and then there are groups. There are singles and there are groups. So whatever you do, you can't put a group against a single, I don't know if you're getting me, a single artist. And then you have to separate them and at least award them for working together. Because, Charlie, working as a team is not as easy as working individually. So I believe it is an award, it's a nomination that has to be there, and then it's well welcome.
All right.
Yeah, to also add, I believe I think we've not yet gotten the category definition, but I'm hoping they are adding duo to it. So that basically two people coming together to probably release an album or an EP like Kenneth and Slim Kid did. I'm hoping they add that.
Because that's the best practice.
Yeah, because I think it will encourage more collaborative projects between people.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, wrapping up on the best group of the year, these are the nominees: Lali X Lola, Ketchet, Team Eternity, Better Revival Choir, and Kwampa. Guys, is there anybody missing here?
Basically, I think not just here, I think the biggest discussion was Dope Nation not being nominated, which became like a widespread conversation. But if you realize, I think I was the first person to post that they did not foul. And I think they've responded to a post DJ Slim made on X, which basically states there are underlying issues that have not been resolved, so they are not part of the industry at this moment in time. So I guess the only missing factor was Dope Nation, but knowing that they themselves did not foul or want to be part of the scheme, then I guess there's nothing like missing. Because they were not there. But if they were there, definitely I would have loved to see them there.
All right. Long John, I mean, you hearing this, what would make an artist who have put out this
What's
work?
the list so far?
So the list is Lali X Lola, Ketchet, Team Eternity, Better Revival Choir, and Kwampa.
I believe I share the same sentiment with YB. I believe with the year under review, one of the most loudest groups under the year of review was Dope Nation. So if you are to make a list and then they are not part, definitely it raises eyebrow. But then again, if you delve deeper and you understand that the members of those groups are not interested in that conversation, I don't believe the organization has any legal backing to nominate them.
But what I'm here to ask you guys is that Dope Nation as an artist, I know them personally, and in the mainstream, we know how much they appreciate these, platforms and award schemes because they've won it before. For them to make a big decision like this, is it not worrying? That's all I'm asking.
You see, that is what I want to say. Sometimes, YB might say, I know what YB will say. Charlie, a lot of artists will come through, you should just get over some of these people and stuff. But you see, like I said, in order to hold the base, I believe we shouldn't allow artists to just make such decisions. There should be conscious effort of this award scheme to try and, if there's any way, maybe have a session with them, listen to their problems and see how best they can resolve it. Rather than, let's move on. Understand? Because if we should continue, let's imagine one day we sit down and then Stoneboy Shatawali, Sapade said they are not preaching. I don't know if you understand, because it can spread like a wildfire.
Okay.
Understand? Right. And these actions, it influences a lot. Understand? And if we don't look for measures we can curb it, I think it might worry, because we are looking at we are not looking at building an award scheme where they'll project an artist, and after projecting the artist get to a place where they can also use their limelight to throw on the award scheme. Now the artist is saying they don't want to be interested.
All right.
You
Yeah.
understand?
Anything you want to add up?
Yeah. Like it's a big deal when like talents who work hard don't want to be a part.
Yeah.
It's quite unfortunate, but there's also so much the organization can also do, because reports we are also getting this. And as much as they do not file, they also tried reaching out to them to kind of ask them whether they wanted to be a part, but there was no feedback from the artists. So it was, I think that part was also quite unfortunate, because I believe if Charterhouse were calling, would have been the perfect opportunity to also air your grievance, to be able to allow them to know what the problem is.
Yeah.
You get me? So what I would encourage is, I think, in as much as yes, Dope Nation have their grievances, I believe there's an opportunity for them to have a discussion with Charterhouse. Both parties should sit down and discuss and try and find a resolution. If the Grammys, Recording Academy, and then Weekend can come back together for Weekend to come and perform at the event, I believe it definitely, this can be a discussion that can be had. But both parties have to be willing to sit at the table. You get it? So I guess that's where Long John thinks I might say something different. But the truth is, the whole thing is, if one party wants to talk, the other party also has to listen. So if one party doesn't want to see them or listen, then that's where there's no need to go and chase.
All right. The biggest category, the biggest award on the night is going to be the Artist of the Year. I just wanted to start talking about the Artist of the Year because we don't have enough time. Kweku Smoke, Team Eternity, Joe Metal, King Paluta, King Promise, Stone Boy, and Black Sheep. It's been a long time since we saw the name Sarkodie not part of this category. And it's surprising, actually. But then, of course, we are in different times. But yeah, this is the Artist of the Year category, guys, quickly. What do you have to say about this?
So let me touch on the Sarkodie a bit. Yes, Sarkodie is a legend, legacy artist. But I think we can be honest and tell ourselves that 2024 wasn't like the biggest Sarkodie year. Let's be honest with ourselves. It wasn't the biggest Sarkodie year. Based on
Because based on DSPs, I think he did extremely well with his championship.
Than most of the guys.
Yes.
Yes.
You see, when we talk about project, that's what I'm saying. Based on.
You say based on
Yes.
what
The DSP.
DSP's performance.
Yeah.
You see, the most streamed artist in Ghana is Black Sheriff. Kweku Smoke has the top 2 albums back to back across multiple DSPs, not just Audio Marco, Apple Music, and even Boomplay. King Promise, most streamed, especially on Spotify. Like the only person who beats him probably on streams is Black Sheriff. Then who else? Team Eternity had arguably the biggest gospel explosion.
Yeah, on the streets.
Joe Metal is a legacy. Obviously, Joe Metal was shares such a time. But that's what people are saying. But yes, the gospel people like say, and I think one of your bases to his event, he held an event in the stadium. The stadium was packed. So no, you are the one. I think you come there when you come to Kweku Smoke. You discuss that bit. You bring that up. Yeah. So Joe Metal in the Christendom is heavy, and I think there is a quota for the gospel though. That's what I feel. When it comes to the artists, I think they leave some spots for bias. No, because secular music has a wider range, so sometimes you can overcloud the other. So I guess that's why. And who else? Stonebwoy. Yeah. Stonebwoy arguably had the biggest year in terms of news items, publicity, events. Let's be honest. 2024, Stonebwoy was basically everywhere. The positive news, the negative news, the overly negative news, the Long John agenda-based news. It all adds part to the brand visibility. You get it. He might not be doing. He might not be one of the best when it comes to the DSP numbers. Yeah. But in terms of the other metrics that are aligned, his events, his shows, his publicity, he was there. Sarkodie, all you can say is championship. Unfortunately, championship hype did not pass 2 months. Lobi, what is R?
You know, he triggered a beef between Ghana and Nigeria.
Which
And even
which
he
lyrical
even triggered a conversation around Africa.
Yes, and I said it didn't last past 2 months.
Who told you? For more than 3 months, it was a discussion on its own.
For more than
And it's
3
even
months.
enough. 3 months.
Bro,
Enough.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, yes.
Let's
Which of them who drop an album got that level of this thing on just their project?
level of what?
Publicity on their project.
Publicity on their project.
Yes, for 3 months.
Oh, I can promise.
Stone Boy.
Stone Boy album.
Yeah.
With the subsequent singles that he released from the album.
Yeah, even JJ, I mean, this was
bro,
activation.
Kweku Smoke didn't have that level of hype, but why new tune? Who has overtaken from the #1 spot?
On the DSPs.
Yes,
So,
bro,
yeah, so that's the thing. So,
so
Sarko,
that's what I'm saying. He did. Sometimes you need to admit to ourselves, and I guess
Yeah.
Sarko himself will admit to himself that
Okay.
2024, yes, was a good year, but wasn't the greatest of years.
Okay, so that's why he's missing in there.
Yes.
All right.
So that's why it's missing, and that's why it's not like a huge conversation.
Okay.
You get.
All right, now let's talk about the Joe Metal bit. I mean, a lot of people are, jokingly saying that he always shares at
Even
the
Rasuku
chatter.
self will say something. I know
Yeah.
when Rasuku see the dimple, you say.
I'll come back to you on that. But like Joe Metal, do you think Joe Metal deserves to be in that category?
Let me be honest. Some of these gospel artists, when you see their name, we know they are partners of their own scheme.
What do you mean
They are
by that?
partners. Like when you look at the discussion under that award scheme and their names are there, you ask yourself, Eban saying. You understand?
You see, he's saying.
Because it's not like we are trying to denigrate anybody or attack any person. But if you look at the list and you see how some people names are in there and you can't even figure, like on the top of your head, you can't just point out something significant to the date under the year of review. Then you ask yourself, Eban is saying.
He did a stadium show. That's significant.
All right.
Even
So
though-
you believe
hold
Joe
on,
Metal?
hold on.
That's
Even though it
Let
was
me-
free.
Hold on.
It was significant.
I don't want to.
It was a free show.
I don't want to.
What's the future? People will come.
Hold on. Let me. I don't want
If
to.
a free show in
You
Casa.
see, this guy, agenda guy, I don't want to have this
We don't have
conversation.
enough
I know what
time,
I
please.
You see, this conversation about the artist of the year, me, I always say this. I think the category definition should be really looked at.
Mm-hmm.
It's so vague and it's allowing a whole lot of people to enter.
Mm.
I don't know if you're getting me.
Yeah.
Because in the end, when you compare certain names in there and you add it to the others in there, you ask yourself, why is this? Because me, if you ask me, I can tell you Sarkodie deserves to be in there.
Wow.
Yes. Sarkodie deserves to be in there. I wouldn't, no, regardless the number of times, I can tell you it, if they want to be honest. They probably overlook Sarkodie because, of course, he has been in there for how many years now? Because the guy is just too good.
Okay.
You understand?
So
because you wouldn't understand why, as good as his album or his mixtape was, you still take him out.
Who would you want to be part of this category? Which other artists would you love?
Me, I believe Sarkodie should be in there.
And who else?
Oh,
People say Familia should be in there.
the names are plenty will come up.
Yeah.
But
For me, no.
Familia, no.
no.
But Familia's song was bigger than JJ. You said it.
You
here.
see, that's what I'm saying. The category definition is too vague.
Mention Joe Metal's song that was
Listen,
bigger than Familia.
That is why
song.
you see, me, whatever I'm saying boils down to that category definition. We need to really explain it better because when you use it as the yardstick for that nomination, certain people that were nominated are not even supposed to be there. You understand? But if you look at it holistically,
Hey.
in a whole,
Oh, come, bro. All right. That's
right,
it.
you realize Familia under the year of, yeah, he did well. I wouldn't lie to you, but not to the level of artist of the year.
All right. Great.
I don't know if you're getting, because if you look at the other artists in there, Kweku Smoke dropped like 3 albums.
Quickly, let's talk about Kweku Smoke. There's a lot of conversation on social media. He doesn't deserve to be in the artist of the category. Which hit song does he have and all that? Yeah. Let me start off with you. Do you agree with that conversation that he doesn't really have a hit song?
Define a hit song. A hit song is music that a lot of people know.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
A song that people can vibe to and sing with.
Mhm.
And if you're going by the definition of a hit song, then I believe he does.
Okay.
Because he has a lot of people who sing along with his music, who either in their homes, even when you go to, if you're someone who goes out,
Mm-hmm.
go to the pubs or the clubs, you know that when the Kweku Smoke song is played, people react differently to it. They sing along to the lyrics and all. So honestly speaking, to be honest, I believe Kweku Smoke has a hit song, if not songs.
Okay.
He has his songs.
All right. Long John, what do you have to say?
I think, let me say this. I want to big up Kweku Smoke for actually coming out to speak truth to power. You see, it's about time some of our pundits sit their ass down and actually work on finding facts rather than face value conversation. Whoever went online to make that narrative that Kweku Smoke doesn't deserve to be the artist of the year, I've seen her go on the street to grant interviews to ask between Kweku Smoke and Kempaluta, whose song have they heard, and she plays the song. I mean, who says that is how we do it? If you really want to do, how should we put it? You want to do checks on someone's work. As I said, one in the street now, who says that's how it's done? His song is not determined by Wadam for now, no Makoko Bon Commonish, 1, 2, conforming, and no Mabos and Common. You understand what I'm trying to say? And his song is a song that even a child, that's how I believe it, even a child can sing along. Kweku Smoke, we've seen countless times within 2024 where kids sang or rapped his verses word for word. Word for word. Look, if you know any creative, they'll tell you one of their biggest accomplishments in their life, it's not ours, is to see young ones, and your elderly people, young ones, sing your song word to word. Like, hey, the goosebumps they get, they ask themselves, Miamini. If you are able to get someone to sing Kempaluta, you can equally get somebody to sing Kweku Smoke song word for word. And that is what we call a hit song. I went straight into his TikTok. There is someone who dropped a song in 2024, 2nd of September. And this song is on the Born in Hell album. The song has amassed over 1 million views on TikTok, with over 19.7K people using the sound on TikTok. I beg you, if you don't have a hit song, 5K crowd, you say you can come by for people to use your sound on TikTok. You see, we shouldn't glorify, sorry to say, foolishness. You don't go and sit down and just because you have mic, you have camera, you throw down somebody's hard work. This is someone among Kweku Smoke's peers. He is the only young artist to hold a show where the top artists hold, and should I say sold out the place.
Yeah, as for that event.
He didn't use any artist name. His name.
Why? What do you mean? He didn't use any artist name?
I mean, you see, when people are doing their shows and like selling tickets is very difficult, then they start, this artist will be coming, this artist will be coming.
He didn't do that.
All the narration was about him. I am doing this, and almost all the unless supporting artists, that one they will do billboards and stuff. But it is Smoke, and to do that, it means you have a level of trust in your brand. And to even dare to do it at the places where the medicals are doing this, it's not a child's play. And looking at how long he has been in the industry, and he's able to do it there and get that numbers, even if you are dumb, nothing should prick you for you to go on camera, on set and say, this guy doesn't have a hit song. And see, the people that went there, were they animals? Were they there to sing to the speakers?
Oh.
They didn't attend the show because of just Kweku Smoke. Because they believe in whatever he sang. I can tell you for free now, Kweku Smoke has cult following. And this is where you can believe yourself and say, you've now reached as an artist. For you to do a show in Accra, and you get numbers, and you're free, you are selling tickets. No be free.
All right.
Jomet cry in the air saying, not Kweku Smoke.
Yeah. So the the Kweku Smoke bit, man. Is it disrespectful to say he doesn't have a hit?
Well, personally, there's a thing.
Because he has come out to say a lot.
Yeah, so here's something. There's no question. There's no problem when someone questions whether we have a hit song. I don't think it's disrespectful in any way or manner. Maybe in terms of probably how it's asked. But let's say if I say Long John, I say Long John. Which hit song do you get?
That is different. But she was.
No. So let me end.
She was definite.
Let me end.
I don't know if Smoke will need her song.
That's like it's a question. It's a journalistic side. Probably where I believe Tilly goofed was the fact that she's trying to equate Kweku Smoke's his songs to the likes of Lomo Lomo or Makuma.
Not childish.
But please don't.
Kawasem, Kamasem. Not childish.
So
Let's wrap up this.
Simon comedy, comedy. So basically what I'm saying is her fault was trying to equate Kweku Smoke's his songs to the songs in the most popular song of the year categories.
How?
Because hits are not defined by popularity. And as much as it's about, all the songs that were nominated in the most popular song, it doesn't mean that some songs which were not nominated were not popular. They could not just make it into the number. But because I think in a submission or in a write-up, she wrote that he had hits in the hip-hop sphere. But once you have hits in the hip-hop sphere, it's a hit. A hit is a hit. Whether, we have terms, we have hit, we have monster hit, we have massive hit.
Yeah.
It was probably to her, it's not like a monster hit, but it was a hit.
Yes.
And per the category definition, it does not define monster hit, heavy hit. It defines hit. And someone who has been nominated, and someone who has what? Mass appeal.
Yeah.
Kweku Smoke has mass appeal. If we didn't already know from the many regions he has performed, his concert, which even proved me wrong, showed that he had a core fan base. So that's the appeal. Number 2, did they have hit songs? Yes, he had a hit song. That's why his songs are nominated in the hip hop categories. Yeah. Was he one of the most nominated? Yes. So per category definition, he is there. Do you understand?
Yes.
But trying to say, only hit, that is a bit misplaced because then you move away from journalism to personalism. There's a word for that.
Yeah.
You are moving away from
personalization,
the journalistic, the journalistic
point of view
to personalizing it. I mean, you get to make to making it personal, and that takes away from the core of what you want to establish.
Exactly.
You get me? Because she could have made certain references and brought about her points in which she feels doesn't warrant Kweku Smoke being there by not just stressing on the hit song. Because if it was just based on the hit song, then Kweku Smoke probably might be the only person who has hit albums. Because his albums are bigger than his songs.
Very
you get it. That's why for the first time you see someone who dropped 3 albums having 2 of his albums released in the year and they will be number 1 and 2 simultaneously. And people have dropped albums after that. Stonebwoy dropped an album. He come back.
All the top guys drop album. But
he come back. So that means there's a core following listening at a consistent rate and pace. And if you're going to use just audio mark for the wider Ghanaian, Apple is for bougie people.
Bro, I have a cousin.
You get it.
Kweku Smoke. His only challenge was that some of the trees are elective.
Let me say this.
So wait, I'm not finished. So that is the only negative aspect, and I'm hoping Tilly realizes that point of view too, because in as much as she has every right to say what she has, we also have every right to critique her content. And she has to take it the way she wants the artist to take it, and not be combative with the responses.
Let me also say this. Our viewers, we need to educate our viewers. When somebody comes and tells you, your friend saying, this artist there, what hit song he gets, ask them these questions. They are very simple. What is the category definition?
Simple.
Then, when the person is done defining that category definition, then you now take it a point at a time. So, did Kweku Smoke fall under any of them? If yes, what's your reason for sitting on air and saying this guy doesn't deserve to be in this category? Because in the end, we are looking at the category definition to list them. And you can't go beyond this. If you have a personal bias and you feel probably because you and your friends or people within your region didn't listen to that music or that artist, don't bring it on viewers and force
Okay.
false narration into the system.
All right.
Get it? So like Long John said, so if someone comes in and asks you, was the show sold out? And the person cannot determine the number of tickets that were sold. Ask questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much on that one.